Alright, welcome to game 3 of Adepticon. So I've got a draw and a major win, so I'm sitting at 30 out of 40 points. One caveat is I do, in the last battle report, I do a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. One thing to keep in mind is that Ben is a very skilled player, and a lot of the things that, in hindsight, I think I could have this, I could have that. Ben very well could have reacted to those. When I do these battle reports and I see these things that I could have done differently, I mention that just because I like to try to learn and maybe try other tactics in the future and things like that. But you play the game, you're under the time constraint, you got a lot going on, you're just going, and poof. So very happy to get a draw out of that last one, if I didn't mention that, because I was losing and Ben was kicking me to the curb, and I ran over his troops with a ram, and I was able to get a draw. So very fortunate to even have a draw out of that one. Squeaked out a draw. So anyway, moving on to mission 3. It's called Breach the Defenses. This one is you set up caddy corner. You got a 2 feet by 3 feet deployment zone. I actually do win the roll for table on this one. It's like one of the few times that I do. So I pick, you'll see the map, I pick a great position. So I have a huge advantage, I believe, right off the beginning. I do have to put down my army first, though, and I have to put down half of my army. So let's go through the scenario. Highest rolling picks deployment zone. The other side deploys opposite. So whatever corner I picked, he would deploy opposite. You can place any spotters, observers, snipers, blah, blah, blah. Reserve units enter the table from the long board edge. Now, it's not in here, but then they announced it. You have to deploy half of your army, and the other half can be in reserves. So I put half my army down. That's one of the things about my list. It's a little difficult to keep a strike force together when you have to put 8 out. But I'm able to do so, and I'll show you that shortly. Major victory loss. You have more units in the enemy's deployment zone than your opponent has in your deployment zone, that should say. You get a major victory. Minor. You have more units in the enemy's deployment zone than your opponent, but your opponent has 1 or more in yours. So if he gets in yours and you have more than his, you get a minor. If you have more in yours and he has none in yours, you get a major. So any other result other than above is a draw. So that's the scenario. So I feel like this one's good for my army as well. Since I have such a big strike force, I should be able to get a bunch of my guys into his deployment zone. And if I can just keep more of mine than in his, then I'll at least get a minor win. Here's my army again real quick. I won't go over it again. You should know what I have by now. 2 squads of commandos, 3 squads of rifles, a ram, a truck, and the A9, and then the medium anti-tank gun. So this next map, it's actually really nice looking. And this is my deployment corner. So I picked this corner. Basically, my deployment zone goes from where that table number flag is to, it goes half board edge in and half board long ways, and it's a diagonal. And I got a nice bunker of hard cover along that road, that line. And there's just basically a plane in the way. There's a couple, these hut things are, we call them buildings, that you can only put 1 platoon in. So I've got a rifle squad, I've got my A9 tank, and got my medium anti-tank gun, I think in a position to keep anything coming down that little tarmac. We're not playing the tarmac as roads. We agreed to that ahead of time because it would have been, you'll see on the other side of the map, it would have been pretty brutal for him if it was. It would have been crazy, but we said no. And then I got a truck, my heavy mortar back there, and another rifle squad kind of behind the plane, behind that hard cover. So I just need to keep him out. My sniper, you see him up there, he's got an order dice on him because we had started the turn. I took a casualty, but I'm behind that little pillar. His sniper is in that hangar up on the top left, so it's near my side. He's got a spotter in that building right by that little fighter plane. And he's got an infantry squad. He had already, we started turn 1, so he had moved that squad. They started in his deployment zone. They started walking down this little runway. I've got my artillery observer in this little hut on the bottom, and kind of behind the hut, I've got my mortar spotter. These Singalese, they're regular tough fighters. Oh, I didn't go over his army list. I'll go over that in a sec. These Singalese tough fighters, had moved into this little pillbox, or not pillbox, sandbag emplacement. And he's got his tank on the right there, and that's the 9 armor all around. He's got a howitzer and a light anti-tank gun. I don't like the looks of that at all. He's got a mortar in that little ruined house, and he's got a medium artillery piece back there in the corner. And that little squad of 3 is his lieutenant. So, like I said, if this would have been roadway, I could have come in on reserves and basically been back in the back corner on like turn 1. So it would have been pretty crazy. He's got reserves to come in as well. I've got my reserves to come in as well. Like I said, this is basically towards the end of turn 1, these pictures, to give you an idea of the deployment zone. So let's go over his army list real quick. And my opponent's name is Eric Brooks. Pretty swell guy. Had a good time. I know I had a good match. And he's playing French, obviously, as you can tell from. And here I'll go over his list. Armies of France. He's got a reinforced platoon. Let's see, lieutenant with the +2. He's using army builder, so it's a little different format. He's got a 10-man regular infantry squad with a VB launcher and a light machine gun, regular. He's got a Singhalese unit. They're 11 guys. They have tough fighters. They're just rifles. He's got a Dragon Portes infantry section, and they have 2 light machine guns, and they have tank hunters. And he's got a 12-man section of Singhalese with rifles. He's got medium artillery, free, a sniper team at veteran, I believe, regular, medium mortar team, regular, medium anti-tank gun, regular, a Lafley 20 TL 6-wheel truck at regular. It's got 2 medium machine guns. Lorraine 30, and that's a 6-up damage on that, so it's soft skin. It won't be able to shoot unless something's in it. He's got a Lorraine 38 carrier. That's the 7-up fully enclosed transport, can hold 12 men. He's got a regular medic and a Char B1 tank. That has a coax medium machine gun, light howitzer. It has a light anti-tank gun, and yeah, it's armored all around, so 9 armor, and it's slow. So that's his whole army list. A lot of regular infantry with some funky stuff in it. I'm building a French army, so it's kind of neat to see this on the tabletop. And like I said, he's a pretty cool guy. Okay, so kicking off game 3. Another nice looking board. We got this airfield. Like I said before, the tarmacs are just open ground. The planes are hard cover if you can draw a line of sight. The buildings are single occupant, single squad only can fit in there. They are buildings though. And then we got various little sandbag and walls and stuff. So we roll off to place our mortar or our observers and stuff. This camera angle is not very good. I have it on my troops so you can see where they're at. We get pretty much caught up in the game. I'm hoping later I adjust it to get a little better picture of the side. So he's got his sniper in that left building. He won the roll, and then I put my artillery observer in this building on the bottom right, and then I put my mortar observer kind of outside it, peeking around the corner, and then I put my sniper behind this pillar, pretty exposed, but I want to be at short range to try to pick off his artillery observer. I'm going to sacrifice my sniper to snipe him. His sniper can't see me from there, and then maybe I can move and then work on his sniper. I should see, he could bring in reserves on the long board edge, so I'm sitting with the rifle squad on the left there, my tank, my medium anti-tank gun to cover the tarmac across, and then to also be able to cover anything coming in on the board edge. He advances, these guys are in his start zone, nothing can come in right now, and he's shooting with these double light machine guns, long range moving small team, and he still scores a hit and kills a guy, so that sucks. I put my order dice on there, and I fire at his guy, but now I'm down to last man, and I don't kill the artillery observer. So that's pretty much the end of the first turn. we do some. He fires both his mortar and his howitzer at my medium anti-tank gun. Or no, one at the rifle squad. You can see the little markers, and one at the anti-tank gun. I don't want those getting blown up, so that's pretty much the end of turn 1. And we go to turn, well, I call him my artillery. He advanced a single-ease unit of like 10 or 11 guys into that sandbag position, and he's got his tank over there, and he started him there and he moved him up. So I put my artillery barrage on them, and I move my, so we're still in turn 1, and I move my anti-tank gun back just to basically keep it from getting blasted. And then since my tank doesn't have anything else to do, I'd shoot 3 machine guns at that sniper. I'm able to put a pin, but it's 6s to wound because he's in a building. I move these guys over just to keep them from getting bombed. And that should be about the end of the turn. So I'm hoping my artillery, and we don't have anything left, everything else is off the board. So we're going to recalculate our dice and make sure everything's there. Put them back in the bag and roll for the artillery strike. It does come in, so that's nice, and it gets its tank, but I don't roll a 6. So I put 1 pin on the tank and I think 3 pins on the single-ease. So that was nice. Would have liked to get, I might have got 2 pins on the tank. So reserves come in, and here we go, bringing in the ram. It's got a Piat in there and a rifle squad. Second dice, I drop my Piat out, and we got a shot, and I miss. Yeah, because oh boy, I didn't put that camera up there. I hope I move it, because that's where basically almost all the action takes place. So the tank is still alive. I do believe it has a pin on it still. And then, so when I looking at the map and the objectives and stuff, his tank looks like it didn't advance, backed up and fired and missed. So I didn't put a pin on my ram. And here I do pick off his artillery observer with my sniper, so I'm happy about that. And bring in my buffalo, just as an advance order, and decided to bring it in on this side of the ram. I don't remember exactly why. And I fire a bunch of machine guns at his single-ease, and now they have at least 3 pins on them. Hopefully I just keep them suppressed. He advances these guys again, and he's going to go ahead and shoot at my sniper, and he picks him off. So it takes him off, sniper's out. I did get rid of the observer. I still don't have his sniper down, and I'm still waiting with a lot of stuff, waiting for him to come in. He had shot his sniper. No, he didn't do anything with the sniper yet. I've got a unit that is my rifle team on the top left. Must have moved. They got an order dice on them. My observer just went down. These guys I moved back to where they were originally, and don't have any shots really. Then it's going to be basically waiting to see where Eric brings in his reserves, and he brings in a Dragon Portes truck in there on an advance order. It's got twin medium machine guns, so they go ahead and fire at my observer, and I take a pin, but nobody dies. And then he brings out the dragons, and these guys got like dual light machine guns, I believe. And, so he's going to fire at my Piat team. I think he needed a 7, small team, move, long range. 6s. So he misses. I'm okay there. This squad he brought his other vehicle in, so basically his reserves are in. He's got that Lafley armored carrier, and those guys ran to there. And that's another unit of Singalese. They're regular tough fighters. So now the reserves are committed, I go ahead and start advancing my tank. And I start hitting that infantry squad in the middle of the tarmac there. And that's the end of turn 2. So here comes my tank. My anti-tank gun, either I moved it backwards or it blew up. So I go with the Buffalo, and I'm cutting right across the front of his tank. But I'm really, all I want to do is put more pins on those Singalese, and I want to jump a flamethrower out. And unfortunately, he pulls the next order dice, and he blows up my Buffalo with his tank. So I have to bail 2 units of commandos out. I put one to the right, one to the left. You can go up to 6 inches away. I put the flamethrower team behind there because he doesn't kill them. And then my lieutenant comes out as well. Well, the lieutenant might be in the Buffalo. But he didn't kill the flamethrower team. Thank goodness. So I've got a lot of things down. But that's okay if I can weather the storm. Now, there is a little sandbag area. So his Singalese and my commandos are in like a stalemate from this point for a while. Because if he charges me, he doesn't auto-pass any checks though. I auto-pass my charge check. He's got 4 pins on his Singalese. So these guys, I had moved my observer out of the building because I didn't want him to charge him. So he just ran to there. And then I'm putting some shots down with my ram on that infantry squad in the middle of the tarmac. These guys passed their check and they just run. I think they're in the building. So they are in that building, ran into the building. And yeah, so the commandos and the Singalese, if he charges me, I'll have 14 attacks going Simo. I'm veteran. He's got like 10 guys, have 20 attacks, but he's veteran. If I charge him, same thing. So my tank just drives up to point blank, and I start blasting machine guns. But you know, you need, and I hit the Singalese because they're more dangerous. And he had no cover from where I was at, and was able to put a pin on and kill a couple. And here I'm just shooting, like needing 7s to hit, hoping to get another pin or something. Oh yeah, here's my tank gun. It wasn't dead. But now you can see I have my tank out in front of it. I have my infantry squads blocking any line of fire, so I got to try to get it in a decent position. Here's a picture of at turn 2, the end of turn 2, when I came in and did a Piat shot. I believe he failed his check and had to back up. He's got like 2 pins on him. They're stacked on top of each other. One from the artillery, because I did 2, and then I might have hit him with my Piat, but didn't penetrate it. So there's that. So we'll get back to the action. Alright, I do end up moving the camera, but it's not till later, and I apologize for that. I don't know what I was thinking here. I move a regular squad out of the ram. I'm in that little sandbag area. I put some shots down range, but I'm not manning that wall, so I'm at moving and +2, etc., etc. He's firing back at me. And by the way, my lieutenant did die when that Buffalo blew up. So I don't have a lieutenant, and I've got a unit of commandos on the left and a unit of commandos on the right in that little stalemate. So okay, we're picking up the order dice. And his sniper had killed off my NCO out of that left-hand rifle squad unit. Here I'm backing up because he's got an anti-tank gun, and I think he can still see me, but I'm going to have hard cover. He had repositioned that on the end of his last turn. So I'm firing at the building with some stuff, firing my tank gun at the Lafley armored carrier, and I hit it, but I don't do any damage to it. Boo, that sucks. I don't think there's anybody in there at the moment. But I just need to make sure nothing comes towards my deployment zone. He's got a medic running around back there somewhere. So we got this little standoff going on between the commandos and his guys. He's tried to rally a couple turns in a row with his Senegalese in that thing, and he's failed, even with his lieutenant standing behind him. So, you know, that can't go on forever. I need to start making something happen. I advanced my, this is not making something happen. I advanced my artillery observer around the side of that hut, and I shoot the Senegalese to put another pin on them. I just need them away from my deployment zone. If they want to charge my guy and go away from it, that's fine. These guys, I shuffle them over to the right again, because now I'm going to focus my tank on the stuff on the left, and I need these squads to work on the Senegalese, or at least be in a position to oppose them if they start making their activation checks. The conundrum is he's got that sniper up there, and I don't have much to shoot at it, needing a 6 to hit him, and that's bad. He had taken my mortar out with his mortar. So he's shooting at my regular squad. There, I moved the camera. Hey! So, airplane on table 10, by the way. So, shooting up some stuff up there. You can see he's got his howitzer back there. His mortar's still in that building there. My Piat had destroyed his tank. Now, get this. This is interesting. This is like super crazy. So his tank had cleared his last pin. He firing point blank at my commandos. I have no cover from the direction where his tank is at. Needs 2s to hit with a light artillery piece and a light anti-tank gun, and he rolls snake eyes. He misses me. My Piat blasts that thing, hits, blows it up, so it's destroyed. So now we still got the standoff with the commandos and his Senegalese. I'm thinking about charging them, and then if I kill them, I'll overrun maybe into the deployment zone. But when the tank dies, now I've got a whole new strategy. I can run around the back side of that tank. I've got a Piat and a commando squad. I just need to get into the deployment zone. So he's loading up. He loaded up his medic into his carrier, and I think his lieutenant is in the carrier. You know, that's no good. Don't want those guys running 18 and then on the next turn making it on an advance and then hopping out 6 inches. So I'm just trying to keep these guys pinned down as well in the little hut there. Yeah, here he's like, aha, sniper, runs out the door. We know next turn is going to be the last turn of the game, and now so I know my commandos will make it into the zone. The Piat is very close because we don't have it marked with anything. So I think I will be able to run the Piat in and get 2, but I also think I won't. So his sniper is probably about 4 inches outside my deployment zone. We know next turn is going to be the last turn. If he pulls the first order dice, that sniper will move behind some sandbags. So here goes my commandos. They're in. So I know that that's safe. And we go to the last turn. I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to hide and then wait and have him do anything. I just wanted them in. I figured they'll survive. So we go first thing, and he pulls an order dice. I'm like, crap. He was going to fire his medium howitzer at me. I go down, and he misses. He needed a 4. Rolled a 3. I'm down with my commandos. Here, the only thing I care about is that sniper. So I advance my tank so I can only turn once, get 2 machine gun shots on him, and I get a hit. I don't kill anybody, but he's got 1 pin. My rifle squad is way out of position. I think I can shoot at him needing 7s because of where I'm at. Maybe 6s with the movement. But that's if he doesn't go first, and he fails an order check with a sniper, and the sniper has to go down. I would have never got him. He was a veteran with 1 pin, and he failed. That was huge. And Eric, the dice with the snake eyes, and then failing that check. Yeah, and then now it's basically I activate my flamethrower, and he moves up, and I hit him with the flamethrower, and he's got, after the flamethrower's done, he's got like 7 pins on him. So the Senegalese, which were the biggest threat to the commandos, are down. Whoa, this is nerve-wracking stuff. So now it's just going to be shooting, because the Senegalese, if they had passed, would probably murder me in the open. The flamethrower saved the day. Here I'm just trying to suppress and put pins on these things. With any shooting I got, I fail with that unit in the thing there. The commandos advance. They've got 7 guys, so 7 rifles. Put some fire on that squad. I just need pins. Pins is all I need. Get one there. And so now Eric, he's got a couple things left. He's got that Dragon Porter squad with 2 light machine guns. That Lafley armored truck can fire 1 gun if it's unoccupied. It can fire both its medium machine guns if it's not. He moves that down there. I don't remember why exactly. I think maybe we thought we'd be able to get another turn in. I don't remember. But here he's trying to shoot at my commandos, and I am down. So here my rifles are going up to keep shooting at that sniper. He's just laying in the road, so it's a little better. I think I can get a pin on him. Here he's picking off the commandos. He rolled really good with the dragons with the 2 light machine guns, and he's picking the commandos, but not enough for a break check. Now I have like 3. So he moves his lieutenant in, or then he loses his lieutenant into that armor carrier. So that Lafley truck. So now he can fire both medium machine guns. And what happens is he like picks off 2 commandos when I had 5 or something, and then he picks off 1 commando when I had 3. I never had to take a break check. I stayed in the thing, and his sniper was out. Whew, that was super close at the end there. Miracle dice going my way because Eric's rolling. So I was able to get a major victory. So I'll have 50 points out of a possible 60, and have to say that was, you know, in every game when they're tight like that, down to the wire, you're kind of pulling some things out of your ass to get a win. You know, it could be a draw, or it could even be a victory to Eric. If he got his sniper in and then picked off those last commandos, it would have swung the other way entirely. My armored thrust stalled out horribly because of his tank and the Senegalese in that thing there. I really thought that I would have a lot more up in his deployment zone. I was only hoping that I'd be able to keep his from getting into mine. The only good thing is that it kind of took his reserves coming in and helping and stalled him out a little bit. So I've got a couple more pictures here. Here's the destroyed tank. My Piat finally did something, killed out the tank. And then the commandos, when they ran up there, got into the deployment zone, they were able to stay alive to the last, to the very end. I did have a Piat right off screen to the right. It would have been very close whether or not he could have gotten into the zone. I can't be an inch. I have to be an inch away from my own stuff. So. Here's his Senegalese. They ended up getting several pins on them, and they kind of got hung up with some failed order checks. I was really worried about these guys working their way through these buildings, getting to my regular troops, and slaughtering me in close combat. Again, my medium tank gun really didn't do squat. My tank did okay, but Alright, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Comments, questions, put